Watching the new CTV. And this is Focus with your host, Paul Dingaman.
Well, welcome to another edition of the Focus program. My name is Paul Dingaman. I host these programs which appear at Marine City and in St. Clair on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday on Channel 6, Channel 902. Now also on Thursdays and Fridays on Channel 12 and Channel 916. That's through northern Macomb and all of St. Clair County on Comcast 12 and Comcast 916. Or of course, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can watch any of our programming, city council meetings, school board meetings, township meetings, those kinds of things at watchctv.org. And we've got a good show lined up for you today. We've got 3 segments lined up for you today. We got okay. What you talking to me, buddy?
The graphics computer isn't working. We're gonna give it.
No, just reboot it.
Okay.
It should be working. We'll just start over.
You're watching the new CTV. And this is Focus with your host, Paul Dingaman.
Welcome to another edition of the Focus program. My name is Paul Dingaman. I host these programs which appear in Marine City and St. Clair on Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. Now also throughout northern Macomb and all of St. Clair County on Channel 12 and Channel 916 on Thursdays and Fridays. And of course, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at watchctv.org on the World Wide Web. Got a very interesting show lined up for you. 3 segments today. St. Clair Art Association, which has been a wonderful organization in the St. Clair community for upwards of 40 years, is here today, and they've got lots of activities they want to talk to you about that you can become involved in. Then the new pastor from Living Faith Lutheran Church in Marine City is along, Reverend Joe, and he's going to talk to us about family fun festivities. It's coming up there. And finally, a new author, Cindy, is going to be along, and we're going to talk to her about her new book called Hello Success. But let's begin with Andrea Breeden. Nice to see you. Welcome, dear.
Thank you.
Nancy Debo.
Hi, Paul.
Mr. Jason Steyer. And down on the end, Mrs. Atterbury. Nice to see you, ladies and gentlemen. St. Clair Art Association, just a wonderful, wonderful community organization. And tell me what's going on. You got lots of stuff going on.
We do. And well, the first item we wanted to talk about was the 4th annual St. Clair Street Banner Contest. And it's a public art project where we invite artists of all ages to design a banner to hang on our street lamp post in town.
Been a very successful kind of a project.
Yes, and it's provided a beautiful landscape along the river and the streets in town, so we're excited to do it again. And this year we're going to put a theme to it, a little different. It's called By the Sea. So we're inviting the artists to paint tropical scenes on their banners. So we're going to bring some warm sunshines, palm trees, seahorses, whatever they want to do that's tropical for their design.
Wow.
Yes. And so entries are due on March 20th to the St. Clair Art Association by 5 o'clock that day, and you can pick up your entry form in the Art Association if you'd like, or you can go on our website at www.stclairart.org, and you can also download an application if you'd like.
Okay. The application here it's got pictures of on the back side of it. It's got some of the previous banners that have hung throughout the city, and they're also hanging in other locations too. I know there's some down at the hospital, some at the school board.
Yes, in the
offices
public library and the Chamber of Commerce.
So
yes.
it's a thing that everybody should become involved with. If I'm not even an artist, I can get involved, right?
You sure can. It's really easy to do a banner. Don't be intimidated by it. They are like 30 inches by, I think, 94 inches. But we take your design and put it on an overhead. And then we use an overhead projector just to project it up on a banner on a frame. So all you have to do is trace it and then paint it. Very easy to do, and it's a lot of fun.
Jason, can you throw those pictures back up? Or Jordan, rather. I'm going to change your name to Jason today. There you go. Now we've got some of them on the screen there for you. And that was one that was on a poster.
Mm-hmm.
You only have the one picture? Okay. But they stay up for the whole season, right?
Yes, they'll stay up for the spring and summer season. And then we have winter banners that were painted to put up during the November through the springtime.
Okay. And fellas, I think there's a full screen there if you'll throw up the telephone number and the web address, so throw that up. No, another one. There we go. The St. Clair Art Association, 329-9576, or stclairart.org, and then the application will be there too.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes.
All righty. Now, let's go into the next item, which is seasons. And that's you, Andrea. What's that about?
Yes, this is our fourth and final season for a project that we ran 3 years prior. And we're doing a call for artists to represent spring in St. Clair. This is the final season. And this will give us 4 complete pictures and a full set of all 4 seasons in St. Clair. And it's another contest with a call to artists. And we're asking them to do either a painting or drawing, something that can be reproducible. We've got a picture here, which is our last year's winner, Winter's Beauty, and that was by Vicki Path.
It's just a beautiful, beautiful picture.
And we take the winning piece, which is juried, and we reproduce it and turn it into prints, and we have prints available for sale at the Art Association.
A freighter coming down the river lazily in a cold winter afternoon.
Yeah, this is beautiful.
The decorations from the city along the boardwalk, it just looks very nice. And this is the St. Clair Beautification's garden,
The
isn't
little
it?
garden.
The
Yeah,
garden club.
Garden club, yeah.
absolutely beautiful. But the winning artist will receive a $1,000 prize.
$1,000.
And that's courtesy of the DDA, Downtown
Yep.
Development Authority. And the first 3 and the top 3 winners will be welcomed at the art fair. And will have an opportunity to have a booth and have their art represented.
Wow,
So the deadline
that's a pretty
for...
good prizes.
Yep, our deadline for the spring in St. Clair is going to be September the 25th. So all entries need to be submitted by that date, and then the next day they will be juried, and we will have a reception that following Sunday.
Okay.
But it's going to make a beautiful collection. They make wonderful gifts, and the price for the prints is $60, so they make a wonderful collection.
They're entitled, great titles, The Winter's Beauty, St. Clair is for Lovers, and On the Boardwalk. And the next one will be a spring scene. so
Spring
that's
in St.
beautiful.
Clair.
Okay. And the prints you said are available, $60 each.
Correct,
Okay, very good.
correct.
Next, we've got Jason and Sandy, and we're going to talk about fish. Talk to me about that.
Well, walleye in particular.
Walleye in particular.
This one we're really excited
Just the
about.
one? Let me grab
Yeah.
it there. Okay,
That's our walleye that hopefully our fishermen are familiar with.
okay.
in the St.
Talk
Clair
to me
River.
about this walleye.
This project is going to be a 15-foot walleye sculpture
Really?
that will actually end up being a mosaic that will be created with ceramic tiles that have been created by people throughout our community. Children, families, Girl Scouts. We've met with all kinds of groups to create these just wonderful ceramic tiles that will become a mosaic surface on our 15-foot mosaic sculpture.
That'll be huge.
Yeah, be great. And it's actually going to serve as a bench. The tail of the fish will curl down and act as a backrest so that people can sit on the tail of the fish and observe the boats as they come in from the St. Clair River into the city harbor.
Where is it going to physically be located?
It will be located in the extension of Rotary Park along the Pine River. So just as you're coming in from the St. Clair River and the river bends towards the boat harbor, you'll see this mosaic fish welcoming you to the city of St. Clair.
Wow, that's really cool.
Very cool.
We have a drawing picture on the CD if they want to show the drawing of
Oh,
it. too,
is there
so,
a
yeah,
picture on the CD there?
Yeah.
There you go, okay.
There we go. So this is a concept drawing, and the design will change a little bit as we actually are just now starting to get into the construction of the fish himself. And all our tiles are ready to be glazed and laid out to form the mosaic design.
Okay.
So the construction should begin this spring and hopefully be finished before the cold weather runs in next winter.
This has really been a great community project because people of all ages, from toddlers to 80-year-olds, have been involved making the tiles. And it all kicked off at the 2009 St. Clair Art Fair when they came into the Creation Station. And since that time, Jason and Juliet Smith and I have been going out into the community. We've gone to preschools, to the library, to churches. The Girl Scout troops, the Brownie troops, and the high school art teachers have also created tiles. We have over 1,000 tiles.
Oh my God.
Some are small. These are bisque tiles, the first firing, where they're unglazed. And then the tiles are glazed, and our glazes were chosen to go along specifically with the colors of the walleye. And Juliet Smith had the brilliant idea of crushing stained glass, which is put into the grooves, and when it goes through the second firing, the stained glass fuses. And so we're hoping that we'll use the glass in the eye of the walleye and along the fin, so it'll glisten in the sun.
Oh my God, that'll be beautiful.
So it's really been a very rewarding experience and fun. We've, just going out into the community, meeting all these families and youngsters who are really excited about the project. And I think one of the neat things is that they will be able to find their own tile, and hopefully the people of St. Clair will enjoy the fish for a long time.
I think they will. I think they will.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a cool one. And when do you think completion will be?
Well, we're hoping by the time fall and winter rolls around that this fish will be done and ready for people to sit down and relax and enjoy the view.
Okay. Now, the two of you have also been very busy this last few months with a project at the St. Clair Library. Talk to me about that. We're going to do a special show here on Channel 6 on it. But go ahead and tell me what you've done.
Well, recently we were approached by the Friends of the St. Clair Library to help enhance their newly built children's wing at the library. So we presented them with a concept of the Four Seasons, traveling around the walls of the room. And Sandy and I snuck in there before the library opened and after school and whenever we could. And
hundreds of hours.
Hundreds of hours.
Yeah.
And the walls are painted to reflect the Four Seasons, complete with animals and vegetation that can be found in Michigan. And three-dimensional elements that pop out into the room, such as a tree made out of books, and a boat bench, and just all these different elements for
Oh, there we go.
For the
That's a
children to
picture of
enjoy.
you up on a ladder painting a cloud, huh?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the
Spring.
That's the spring wall.
Spring wall.
Center of the room.
Okay. And do we have any more? That's it?
No, there's all the
There
walls.
should be a couple more there, fellas.
Yeah.
No more? There we go. Okay, this is the
Oh,
George
good.
Trombley. Talk to me about the George Trombley.
George Trombley is a local gentleman who volunteered his time and materials and built us a boat bench for the children to sit in with an activity table that is interchangeable with Legos and chalk. So just a little activity table for the children to enjoy.
This is a winter scene with a fox looking pretty closely at a rabbit there.
Right.
There are all kinds of animals hidden in the murals. It's great.
And there's Jason again up on in the rafters, painting. That it?
Well, all Four Seasons are there.
Okay.
If they wanted to do that.
All right. So that's we're going to do about a 20-minute show. We went over there recently with the two of you and did a nice little feature on the work that you did, and I must compliment you. You both did a phenomenal job in that. So
Thank you.
that'll be on the air shortly. And then finally, we're going to talk about a Little League mural. What's that all about?
Well, the Public Art Committee was just recently approached by the Little League and representatives, and we've been asked to assist them in the building construction that they're going to be doing at the Little League Park, and they've got a wall that they would like to have some art represented on.
Really?
So we've just started to digest the project, but we will be having a call for artists, and we'll be doing some artwork along the wall, either in its entirety or in a section, but the full length that we have to work with is 120 feet long.
Wow.
And the height, I think, was 8.5 feet. So we're not quite sure yet what our
Very big
guidelines and
space.
rules are going to be yet, but we're just starting to formulate that. And once we have a good handle on that, we'll be extending a call for artists to help us with some design concepts that we can implement on that project.
Is this going to be similar to the art that's in the harbor on the wall there?
It could be. It's a mural of some sort. The material is not necessarily limited to paint. So it may be tile, it may be a bas relief, could be a variety of different art concepts with that.
Pretty cool,
So-
pretty cool. So more to follow on that.
More to follow. You
And then
got
the
it.
final item was the fact that it's 40th anniversary of the St. Clair Art Association's Art Fair. Staggering that it's 40 years old.
Yes,
Yes, it
yes. So it's coming up before we know
June
it.
23rd and 24th.
Right.
And the applications are due the 25th of February, so
Right,
just
right.
around the corner. So, did we miss anything?
I
I don't think so. I was just going to say also that we also sell T-shirts and sweatshirts for our banner projects with all the banners on them for the different years. And any proceeds from our sales of those and bookmarks all go back toward public art, as do our prints that we sell for the seasons.
Well, you guys are busy.
Yes,
Busy,
we are.
busy.
Yes.
Good seeing you.
Yes.
Thanks, Jace.
And of course, if anybody would like to donate funds to our public art project,
Bring your
we
checkbook.
always love it.
Best art you like is checks.
Always looking for
It
volunteers
keeps us
as well.
going. And volunteers to do the work, yeah, and plan.
We're back with the pastor from the Living Faith Lutheran Church, Marine City. It's on 1 second.
Have you missed your favorite CTV program? You don't have to. Our new website, watchctv.org, allows you to view all CTV programs 24 hours a day. CTV will continue its television broadcast, in addition offering all regularly scheduled programs online. Focus, Roundtable, The Report, and many more. Log on to www.watchctv.org and check out everything you've been missing. Watch CTV online and on channels 6 and 902, on the web at www.watchctv.org.
We're back with a friend by the name of Pastor Joe. Nice to see you, Joe.
Hi, Paul. Great to be here.
You have something new and exciting going on in Marine City, Michigan.
Yeah.
We've known you and seen you on this program many, many times when you're from your work here in St. Clair at the Emmanuel Lutheran Church. And you've now branched out a little bit and tell me the story of Living Faith Church.
Living Faith Lutheran Church. I'm still a part of Emmanuel Lutheran Church. We were a part of helping out the startup of Living Faith Lutheran in Marine City. And they got a pastor along the way, but he took a call to Indiana. And so right now they are technically vacant, is the word that we use. And we didn't want anything to happen during that time of vacancy. We didn't want them to to lose any members, to fall away or anything like that. So we said, what can we do to help? And so, here I am.
There
We
you
have
are.
two pastors, Pastor Schwieger, of course, you know him well, and myself. So I'm helping out down there any way that I can. So
So it's not necessarily a permanent assignment.
no.
Okay.
We said, I'll be down there for about a 6-month period of time, and anything that I can do, we'll see then at the end of 6 months just what's next, and that's going to take me through Easter time. Then
Okay.
we'll sit down and we'll say, what's next?
What's next?
So right now we're in the thick of things. A lot of things going on there, a lot of exciting things we saw the other night.
Yep.
As we open up our doors to the community and using this big old building down there for a lot of community events.
Let's talk about this big old building. I'll hold this picture up for the camera here. This big old building has got a lot of history in Marine City. This is the Ward Cottrell. It was a grade school?
It was formerly an elementary school built in 1938, and that was an old, you can see back there. I don't know if the people can see it, but I think that was still when they had dirt roads down there. There's still some puddles there
Yes.
in the street. So that was probably early on, shortly after the building of that building. And then there's some of the other ones there that go back even further in time. The top pictures were the building before Ward Cottrell. The picture on the left there was the building before, and then they modified that. So that was probably, I don't know, turn of the century. They knocked that building down, and then they built the Ward Cottrell building. So again, just a little bit of Marine City history that happened on the corner there of Ward and
And I like this. This
Parker
was the
Street.
graduating class for elementary, 1966.
Yeah, the class of 65, 66. Going back in time, looking at the old cat-eye glasses of some of the girls and the boys wearing ties and things like that. You won't see that too much now.
I mentioned to you before we went on the air that Craig Zimmerman, who does play-by-play for us of Marine City High School sports, always refers to the basketball game. We're here at Ward Cottrell High School, so he must have attended Ward Cottrell High School at some point in his formative years.
You know, this stuff runs deep down there.
Yes.
And so that's one of the things that we're trying to do is to maintain the building and to keep it what it is while making still some modifications.
You went in to sit, the school board had it offered it for sale. The Lutheran church bought it.
Yep.
And but the Living Faith Lutheran Church has been in existence for a couple of years.
Yes, they formed about 6 years ago.
6 years, okay.
And they were worshiping in the Bell River Elementary School. And they had to leave Bell River because there was, during the summertime, during the school time there in the summer months, there was some construction being done there. So they couldn't worship in the cafeteria there. So they had to find a different place to worship. The Ward Cottrell School was open, so they started worshiping there. And then that's when talks, negotiations began with that. They rented it out. And then finally it led to a land contract to purchase that. And that's where we are right now.
Beautiful. Well, you're here to invite people to come
Yep.
and have fun. It's called Family Fun Festivities at Living Faith, Saturday the 25th, just around the corner in the middle of the day, 2 to 6 p.m. What's going to happen?
Well, when we first started talking about this a couple of months ago, it was because we thought, well, you know, it's going to be another frigid winter here in Michigan, lots of snow, lots of ice. Well,
Didn't happen.
but yeah, there's still lots
okay.
of fun that needs to be going on. So this is still going to happen. We have a couple of bounce houses, you know, those big inflatable things that the kids love to do. We're going to have Daisy the Clown. She's going to be there with balloon sculptures and face painting. She's done some wonderful things for us in the past. We're going to show a movie called Dolphin Tale. That's going to be going on. Cupcake walk, kind of like a cake walk. A little duck pond for the little ones and a beanbag toss. A euchre tournament for mainly our adults. We tried to have a square dance, but we couldn't find a caller. Those are difficult to find.
Dying art, probably.
Yeah, we tried to do it at Emmanuel a couple years ago. Same difficulty, trying to find a caller, difficult. And then
There's your invitation. If
there's any
if
callers?
if you're a caller and you want to get some work, Living Faith.
contact me.
Yeah.
Would love to find out. But then food. This is another thing that we really think is a critical part, not just having food, but we're working with some of the vendors in Marine City.
Good.
And they're working with us. Papa Grande's, it's a new Mexican restaurant. Love Mexican food. Todd May from the Sweet Tooth, he's going to be working with us their food. Now, it's not free food, but what they're doing is they're going to come in and to basically, at cost, tacos and nachos and things like that from Papa Grande's. Todd's going to bring in some ice cream at cost. It's going to allow them to kind of be seen more
Yeah.
and make, again, I think it's sort of a win-win situation.
great idea.
So again, a lot of fun, some different things. Not a whole lot to do, again, typically when it's snowy and cold, but who knows? We're a week away.
I'm impressed that you're going to use the building. It's a solid old building, as you
Yes.
said. We were there the other night and we covered the Marine City Town Hall, which was taking place there, and it's a solid building, and I think it has many, many years of good service ahead of it.
Yes, you know, we've already done some things. The Chamber of Commerce is interested in doing some more meetings there. Yeah, they need a good big place to do that, and you saw that's a wonderful thing. We did a maritime Christmas event where the vendors came in, and it went from like 6 tables to over 30 tables.
Oh, wonderful.
And there's not a lot of places down there to do that. Well, we're a perfect fit for that.
Yep.
But of course, it's always around the church activities and the church message, you know, that hopefully we, in one way or another, share.
Second floor, what's happening up there?
We have a member of Emmanuel Lutheran Church is a licensed family counselor, so she's taken up residence. She's put her shingle out there, Mary Jo Walentovic. And that's one of those things also that we see as our church is going out into the community. There's a lot of need for counseling for families. And she shared with me that one of the things that she wants to do is offer some pro bono work to the community. And so again, just part of what we're doing here as we go out into the community. So she's a key part of that.
Okay. All right, so the invitation is open to everybody, whether you're Lutheran or not.
Does not
Come
matter
to
a bit.
Family Fun festivities at Living Faith, Saturday the 25th, 2 to 6, and that's at 310 South Parker, better known as Ward Cottrell High School.
Right next to the
Across the
library.
street- And across the street from the police station.
Yep. Good way to remember it.
Safe place.
Thank you, Paul.
Good seeing you. Oh, and there's the thing. We'll be back with an author on a book called Hello, Success in just a second.
Have you missed your favorite CTV program? You don't have to. Our new website, watchctv.org, allows you to view all CTV programs 24 hours a day. CTV will continue its television broadcast, in addition offering all regularly scheduled programs online. Focus, Roundtable, The Report, and many more. Log on to www.watchctv.org and check out everything you've been missing. Watch CTV online and on channels 6 and 902. On the web at www.watchctv.org.
We're back with a local author. We don't have too many local authors stop by, but we wanted you to meet Sherry Whiting. Nice to meet you, dear.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Focus Set.
Thanks very much.
You've got a brand new book. I love the cover.
Thank you.
And the title. It's called Hello, Success. What a
Right.
better, that's a and look at the shoe. The shoe is great too.
Yep, it's a leadership book for women.
Leadership book for women. Talk to me. Why did you get an idea to do this?
Well, I was a business owner, still am a business owner, since 1984, and I have a PhD in leadership. And during the time running my businesses, I discovered that I had a sort of a secret formula for success. And I'm really dedicated to women because it's not quite an equal place for women in the world, and especially in the business world as it is with men. And so I formulated this book just for women.
What kind of business were you in? Or are you in?
Well, I started and owned a home care agency.
Oh, okay.
Home health agency. But now I have a counseling center in New Baltimore.
Okay. And the leadership secrets, can you give us one or two?
Yes, it's really for...
To entice us to buy the book?
Yes. Well, I found that over those years when I was in business, at personal home care specifically, I had come up with a formula that really enabled us to be really successful. And it really applies to men and women, and it's about how to build a team of superstars, how to create an environment in which your company really thrives, how to develop a good leadership style. That's the flavor of the book.
And the book obviously is small enough that you can...
It's quick read.
Quick read, and it looks like it's enjoyable reading, good reading.
Well, it's motivational and inspiring, and that's the feedback I get from people. And I think men and women have gained quite a bit out of it, so I'm gratified for that because that was my purpose.
Customer service and quality, becoming a leader, the importance of mentoring, finding balance in your world, the beginning of the world, defining the world, creating the environment.
Yeah.
Those are all important, but you delve into each one of them
Exactly.
and talk about each one.
Exactly.
What made you go to write a book? I mean, it's not an easy thing to say, I'm going to write a book.
Right. Well, when I started my company, I was 29.
Okay.
And I found that I wasn't taken very seriously
Okay.
as a 29-year-old and as a woman.
Okay.
When it came to getting a loan, I couldn't get one.
Right.
When I was marketing people, they just weren't taking me seriously. And also I knew from my other studies that women were making about 62 cents on the dollar as a man. As the company grew, as I pushed forward no matter what the obstacles, success came and the world seemed to equalize for me. I felt like it had equalized. As I had my children, first my daughter and then my son, I knew that as soon as he was born, as a white male, he had an advantage over her. So I took extra care with her, playing games, for instance, with Miss Piggy and Kermit the Frog. Miss Piggy went to work as an executive, and Kermit the Frog took care of the kids.
Wow.
So I worked hard.
You were ahead of your time.
Well, I was trying to socialize her in a different way.
Right.
But I believed that the world had changed when I was in business. It felt like it had changed. But when I left my company after selling it, I discovered in a series of events that it really hadn't changed at all. Women had gained about 13 cents on the dollar, but it hadn't changed. And that's when I realized that in all those years of being in business, I had created a world for myself that felt on par.
Okay.
And that
in your mind, it had become on par.
It had.
But it really hadn't on the outside.
Not to the rest of the world, but as long as your world is the way you want it to be, does it really matter?
That's a comfort zone.
Yes, it felt good. And so I realized that maybe women needed help to know how they could do that for themselves or just to be inspired to do it for themselves. And that's where the thought of the book came. In fact, the original title of the book was Creating Your Own World, Leadership Book for Women. But it got shortened and made it a little bit more sparkly.
Now, do you go on speaking tours too?
I do, yes.
And
I speak on building a superstar staff and leadership for women and various other leadership topics.
Pretty cool,
Yeah.
cool. One of the reasons you stopped here today is that there's going to be a book signing for this pretty little book.
Yeah.
And where is that going to be?
Neiman's Family Market in St. Clair, February the 26th from noon to 2.
And you'll be there and you'll be signing autographs and
I will.
answering questions. And what's your next book going to be?
I do have that picked out.
Oh, you do?
But I can't divulge it yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your son, your daughter, what are they doing now?
My daughter is in grad school in Tennessee. She's going to become a social worker. And my son is an undergrad, about to graduate, wants to be a history professor. And I have another son, and he's a business major. So they're all doing well.
All doing well.
And they all, I think, have a really healthy respect for women. So I think I've done
what you're supposed to do.
what I wanted to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was certainly a discovery that a lot of women know about but don't do much about. And you certainly have gone ahead and done something about it, which is to be saluted. So that's interesting.
I believe in taking the positive approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Did we miss anything?
Just read it and find what's between what we've talked about is the only thing I would add to that because there's a lot of good things in there.
Okay. February the 26th is a Sunday, noon till 2, Neiman's Family Market. And of course, there's more information available at sherrywhiting.com.
Yes.
And thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Paul.
You did a
It's
good
my
job.
pleasure. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you.
We'll be, as soon as you write the next one, come
I'll
on
give
back.
you a call. Thank you.
That's about it for this edition of the Focus program. Thanks very much for tuning in. Focus appears here in Marine City and St. Clair on Channel 6 each Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday on Channel 6, Channel 902. Also now throughout northern Macomb and all of St. Clair County on Channel 12, Channel 916 on Thursdays and Fridays. Of course, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at watchctv.org. Till next time, Paul Dingerman, thanks very much for tuning in.